Live from Deathray Studios in the sunny West Valley of Phoenix, it's Late Night with the Davey. Appearing on tonight's show, content creators Brendan and Sam from Our Life in Horror. And now, ladies and gentlemen, your host, Davey Deathray. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Davey Deathray here with another edition of Late Night with the Davey. How are y'all doing tonight? Hope the week is treating everybody well. We have officially made it more than halfway through the work week, so congratulations to everyone out there that works a Monday through Friday. I'm sure we've got some folks, though, in the chat that have a little bit of a different schedule. I know I've been there in my work life before. Anybody here work a job that doesn't give you the luxury of having 2 days off in a row? I've done that a couple times, and it is the friggin' worst. You feel like you never get away from work. Or maybe some of you guys work like 410s and have a 3-day weekend. That would be amazing, because then that way you have 1 day just to sort of stare at the wall and collect your thoughts about working 410s. And then you've got a day to catch up on chores and a day to screw off. So it's perfect. Yeah, guys, just want to say what's up to everybody here in the chat. Look at that. Lamontre is like, I swear, I don't know if Lamontre is able to hang out during the streams, but it's like this guy is the first comment on every single stream, every single time. What's happening, Lamontre? Hope you are doing well, man. And then we've got Raymond Malabar. He's usually second. So these guys it's the 1-2 punch of the early birds. And then we got Gory Tiger. What's happening, Gory? Great to see you. Hope everything is going well. I love the little, what is that, a zombie and then some sort of like orange ghost kind of guy. I don't know exactly what that is. Some sort of demented Finding Nemo character or something. I don't know. And then we've got Big Rod in the house. All right. I'm back. Shout out to Georges St. Pierre. Is that I don't know what that is. Is that a MMA fighter or a soccer team? It could be either one. That's how dumb I am about those sports. All right. And saying what's up to Gory. Hell yeah. Let's see who else is in the chat. We've got Robert the Wolfman. Ow, ow. What's happening, Robert? Great to see you, bud. We need to get a hang on because the bottle of mead is no more. Robert makes delicious, delicious mead. He just made this one that's like a Hellraiser theme. It's a honey lemon, and it's called the lemon configuration. Oh, so tasty, so good. Couldn't put it down, Robert. And then we've got Mud Nelson. What's happening? Gavin, great to see you, bud. Hopefully you've recovered from the Halloween franchise tier ranking that we did on Sunday. Because at one point, Gavin was like, Davey, I'm calling the cops. Because I think I put the Rob Zombie remake in the I wanted to put it in the lowest tier. I think I put it in the second to lowest. And then I put his Halloween 2 way up top, almost in the tippy top, because I really like that movie. Gavin, wanted to have a welfare check on me just to make sure everything was okay. Everything is fine, Gavin. And appreciate the spelling there on the welcome back. I dig that. All right. And who else we got going on in here? Whole bunch of conversation in the chat. Always love seeing that. We've got my lovely wife, Kate, is in the chat. It's a legal obligation. When we got married, I didn't have the channel at that point, but I did make her sign a binding document that said that if I ever, tried any creative endeavors, that she had to 100% support it. She had to show up for every stream. And I basically, kind of like the White House, I give her a script of all the things that she's allowed to say, the questions she's allowed to ask, because this isn't a free country. This is North Korea. So I make sure that we control all of that here. That's about as political as I want to get tonight. But hey, you never know where the conversation's going to take us. So we will see. All right. And we've got Fatchy Cinema in the chat. What's happening, Matt? Had a great time. I don't know if you guys caught it or not, but last night Matt did a little birthday stream. He's celebrating his 36th birthday on Sunday, I believe. And so he did a little, ahead of time stream, and I jumped on there. Kate and I jumped on there. We just kind of hijacked the entire stream and started talking about football and stuff. It was a wild, wild time. So appreciate you dropping in, Matt. Always great to see you, my guy. And Matt and I actually, we are, I know I probably mentioned it weeks ago, but that whole start bench cut thing that I kind of brought over here to late night with the Davey, I sort of debuted the idea in the chat on one of Matt's streams, and it just like kind of took off in the chat. So I was like, Matt, we should do a show called Start Bench Cut, where just once a month we hop on for like an hour and we each have a couple rounds of Start Bench Cut prepared, but then we also like field the start bench cuts from you guys in the audience. So that is coming in the near future. And then we may be cooking up another idea for like a monthly watch along series. Now my wife is legally obligated to take part, as I had just mentioned minutes ago. We'll see if Matt can rope his lady into it, but I guess the idea would be kind of like a double date, like a, movie date with Davey and Kate, double date style. So, and, maybe we can work in some guests, all that kind of fun stuff. That's the thing about doing content creation is you're always trying to look for like, what's that next idea? Like throw everything at the wall, see what sticks, roll with it. If it doesn't stick, that's cool. At least you tried it. So look out for some content from, myself and the Fatch Man. That's just what I don't know if anyone else calls Matt that. I'm calling him the Fatch Man. Hopefully that's okay. He pronounces it, Matt, you always say your last name Facci, and so I feel like maybe I'm, saying it wrong. I don't know what it is about my brain that just wants to say Facci. I don't know. We can talk about that offline. And we've got Carbonite Dreams in the chat. What's happening, Carbonite? Great to see ya. Great to see ya. And look at this. Matt's getting all sorts of love in the chat. Kate says, lies. I'm just supportive. She's very supportive. She's very sweet. It is all lies. I didn't make her sign that document. She's just nice enough to be that cool. She could watch. There's probably so many more entertaining people on YouTube right now that she could watch, or she could jump into The Mentalist because she is just tearing through that show. Anybody in the chat ever watch The Mentalist with Simon Baker? I really like Simon Baker as an actor. You guys know if you've been watching the channel, I'm a huge George Romero fan. And I think Simon Baker's performance in Land of the Dead is exquisite. I think that movie is like kind of low key underrated. I don't know if it's really underrated because I think the people that appreciate Romero appreciate that movie for the most part, but I think it's really damn good. And Simon Baker, what a charmer. What a charmer. All right, so it looks like I've kind of caught up with everybody. Hopefully I haven't missed anyone that's wandered in here within this first 10 minutes of the show. Let's see what you guys are saying other than happy birthday. Yeah, Big Rod says if you're here, you might as well roundhouse that like button. That's what's up, Big Rod. And thank you so much, Big Rod. Again, I know we were chit-chatting kind of in the comment section, regarding your contribution last week for Start Bench Cut. Really appreciate that. Guys, if you ever want to jump in and, put your 2 cents in there as far as Start Bench Cut or even questions for our guest or guests as it is tonight, go ahead and drop those in the chat and I'll put a star on them so that way we can come back. And yeah, Big Rod, man, you just made my job a little bit easier by coming up with a couple stellar rounds of Start Bench Cut last week. So that is great. Raymond says he kicked the like button right in the junk. I love it. I love it. I love it. Gavin says movie date with Davey and Kate +8 while eating steak on paper plates in different states. That's awesome, dude. I feel, I'm going to star that because I feel like we should turn that into something. That's like a lyric for a song that's just yet to be written. Raymond says, I used to love The Mentalist. Yeah, it's good stuff. As far as television goes, I'm not the biggest TV fan, but it's fun. Take 5% off that merch. There you go. There it is. Robert says, I really liked Land of the Dead. A lot of people hate on it. Yeah, Robert, the first time I saw Land of the Dead, I saw it at the Cinerama in Hollywood opening weekend. I swear to all that is holy, and I didn't go to an event. It was just, a regular screening opening weekend. I swear Tony Todd was there. He just has that distinctive look, and he's such a big dude. I nudged my brother Matt, who took me to the movie, and I'm like, Matt, that's Tony Todd. And he's like, who? And I was like, the guy that played Candyman. He was in the Night of the Living Dead remake. It totally makes sense that he'd be here. Yet I was a little disappointed the first time I saw the movie. However, after chit-chatting with friends and watching it some more, I've come to like really, really love Land of the Dead. It's probably my third favorite in the Dead series. So yeah, really like it. Kate really likes it too. I made her sign she had to sign that she would always support George Romero as well. So there it is. And Big Rod says, just glad to be here chatting. Thank you for the platform, Davey. Of course, Big Rod. I say it all the time, but you guys are the fuel that keeps the channel going. I couldn't do it without y'all jumping into the live streams, of course, liking, subscribing, commenting on the videos, all that kind of good stuff. You guys are what keeps me fueled. So I gotta give that respect to the folks in the chat. Absolutely. And yeah, guys, coming up on, I think technically, so today, it's funny, it's the 10th of July. So this is the 1-year anniversary of when I decided to finally start the channel and become an associate producer on It's Me, Billy Chapter 2. And, I watched Dylan's New Nightmare, the pre-screening at Mad Monster a year ago today, met Dave McCrae a year ago today. So it was, I seriously haven't even thought about it until right now, this moment. But yeah, it was July 10th last year. So what a wild year it's been. I really didn't kick things off with the channel. August was when I really started kind of putting together more like pre-recorded vids and all that kind of stuff. So it's been an interesting journey so far. We're rounding the corner on 700 subs. We're at like 730 right now, just still trying to get to 1,000 by the end of August, which in my revisionist history is when I started the channel. But guys, we have got up and comers as guests right now on the show. Well, I guess not right now. I'm just about to bring them in, but this couple, Brendan and Sam, have been going at YouTube for about 4 months right now. They are, man, the content that they're putting out, they're just putting out tons and tons of content. So we're getting live streams. You guys are getting pre-recorded vids. There's interviews. There's physical media coverage, there's movie reviews, reactions to trailers, all the good stuff that us horror hounds absolutely can't get enough of. So yeah, guys, without any further holdup, let's go ahead and bring in our guests, Brendan and Sam from Our Life in Horror. All right, there you go. All right, there you guys.
Hi, happy 1 year.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, it's as I'm sure you guys are finding out now, it's like, doing YouTube is maybe it's different, but do you guys kind of get the feeling where you're like, you almost get like addicted to creating vids? Like you put one out and then it's like, all right, what's the next one gonna be?
Pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Sam for sure.
We started out with a podcast we were doing for like what, a year and a half?
Year and a half, yeah.
And then we made the transition to YouTube, and I'm liking it even more than the podcast. I think it's a lot more fun.
Yeah, it is kind of nice to be able to just be seen. I think to be like a little more, I feel like being a little more expressive, when it's not just the audio. Because I'm guessing the podcast was just straight audio, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, and it's the YouTube journey is wild, right? Like because it seems like at the beginning you're sort of trying to figure out, all right, so how do I carve my space here? And then with you guys, being a duo, that's also a couple. I've always been kind of envious of that. Like I grew up playing music and stuff, and whenever we would play shows with like a band where there's a couple in the band, or maybe it's just a duo, and they're not only are they, partners in life, but they're partners in their art. It's always like, it's an interesting dynamic. So what is that? What's been figuring that dynamic out? Or I wish I could talk right now. What has it been like figuring out that dynamic? And could you guys sort of go into maybe a little bit about where you guys have overlap as far as fandom goes, and then maybe where you guys differ as far as your tastes in horror?
Well, we were just talking about this. This is real funny. So Sam likes, I guess we'll get into fandoms, but Sam likes the discount straight to DVD. You're gonna pick up this movie for $1 type movies. And
I also like slashers and shark movies and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
But like, it's most of the time it just looks like she's scraping like the bottom of the barrel for stuff.
There is a charm though in that, isn't there? Like there's something about, like, I'm a big Mystery Science Theater 3000 fan. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that show, but they watch these terrible movies, and it's the show, you may have seen it. It's got like the theater seats at the bottom. It's like a guy and two robots that are really just puppets, and they make fun of bad movies. And it gave me this strange appreciation for like schlocky shit, where I'm like, I kind of like the charm of something bad.
Okay.
Yeah, of course. I've always been like leaning towards cheesy stuff too, but like, yeah, some of the stuff you get into is like, it's out there.
I like Tubi.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. That's yeah. So you're like Evil Bong 7. I'll go ahead and watch it. Like screw it. Like the Gingerbread Man or whatever with Gary Busey. I'm into it. Like that kind of stuff.
We watched Ginger Dead Man, and
Oh,
I actually didn't like it.
Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of it either, actually.
It felt like a porno without the porn. Like it was just like that cheesy, I guess.
Yeah.
That is an interesting genre of film where you're like, did they just take all the sex out of this and this is what we're left with? Like
Exactly.
bad acting, bad lighting, just people that probably aren't even actors delivering lines.
Yeah. Yeah, but what do you like?
Well, as like franchises go, like I'm a huge like creature feature. I like Tremors is like one of my favorite franchises.
And I don't do creatures.
Yeah, and Sam does not do creatures. Critters I really liked. Slashers I'm also into, like Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street. But I get more into like the paranormal stuff. Tends to freak me out more, and you're not into like the Exorcist stuff as much as I am.
No, I'm not into really exorcism movies. I feel like there's just so many out there. But if I'm in the mood to like really get scared, I'll sit down and watch like a paranormal with him. But it's like once in a blue moon. I usually like fun slashers and stuff.
Yeah. It's like, horror is just such a great escape, right? I don't know if people give you guys odd looks when you tell them you like horror, when you're not interacting with someone in the community. People are like, oh, you like that weird stuff, like as they back up and like try to find the door, like, but like for me, it's just like, it's a roller coaster, and it's just an escape from, real life is probably scarier than most horror movies.
Definitely.
Yep, for sure.
And I heard you. So I jumped in the stream. I believe, was it yesterday when you guys were doing the Late Night with the Devil, or 2 nights ago?
Yeah.
Was it Sunday?
I think it was.
I don't even know.
Sunday. I think I know. I'm losing track. It was Sunday.
Too much THC for me to like, make heads or tails of it. But yeah, Sam, I heard you talking about not really liking the possession movies, and I'm kind of with you there as far as like, I don't know what it is, like religious possession doesn't really do it for me, but something like demonic possession, like The Evil Dead, I absolutely love. It's like this weird, like, specific kind of fandom where it's just like, oh, I like the demonic possession movies to get a little wild, like kind of like Late Night with the Devil. I sort of like that way of doing it, and not so, I don't know what it is. Like I grew up in a religious home and had a fine experience. Like nothing crazy happened, but I don't know what it is about those that just sort of,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm also a huge Evil Dead fan. Like that's my probably top tier like franchises for me. Is like Army of Darkness. I grew up on watching a VHS tape that I wore out for sure.
Nice.
So I understand the Evil Dead love.
Yeah,
but I always try to find movies like that too. And paranormal, like if we're talking like ghost stuff, I just find it's almost so, it could be so like as long as it's well done, it could be real. Like, and it just freaks me out if I have all the lights off and I'm watching something like that. I don't know. It just gets under my skin more.
I can see that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you want that kind of like, a little bit of that danger, but you know you're safe. But it is kind of nice when a movie comes along that, you know, I mean, the older you get, the tougher it's going to be to really like shock and scare you legitimately, right? But it is cool when you see something where you're like, you just get that feeling, you know, hair on the back of your neck stands up. You know, something like the way that, you know, Longlegs is looking to be, you know, it looks like one of those movies, you know, and hopefully it'll live up to everything that we've all built it up to be in our heads. I don't know. I would imagine you guys are looking forward to checking that one out, hopefully sometime this weekend.
Yeah, we're going Friday, and I've avoided trailers completely. Even at the theater, I looked away. Like, I don't want to know anything about it because it looks like it's going to be creepy, and I really hope it's not overhyped.
I know. This movie is such like the most creative marketing campaign I've ever seen. Like, it's taking me back to like the Blair Witch days. I'm not even old enough for that, but like I know all the coverage on it, but like their first two trailer releases were just like still images, and they were just like close-up shots, and then there's nothing. So you're just like left with, what is this movie? And now they're releasing like websites and stuff, like, which is so interesting. You just haven't seen that since like Paranormal Activity or something like that.
Yeah, the website, I checked it out. It's like one of those old, like, you know, I'm an old cat. I'm in my 40s. So it reminds me of those old like Angel Fire, GeoCities pages from like the mid 90s. You know, it's got that look to it where it's just bare bones. I checked out the website, and even just looking at the site kind of creeped me out. But yeah, I totally know what you mean about the marketing. It's been fantastic. And I haven't watched, I heard the most recent trailer kind of gives stuff away. But the other trailers that I've seen, it's like, it looks so ambiguous. You're like, it kind of looks like there's a cult that has like a murderous leader, but like, what the hell do I, you know, it's like so difficult to make heads or tails. And I think that's probably one of the reasons why people are so excited. And I mean, it looks beautiful. Like the, you know, the cinematography from what we've seen looks deliberate and absolutely gorgeous.
I love Micah Monroe too. She's awesome.
Yeah, and I don't know.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I love Nicolas Cage too. So.
Yeah. Nicolas Cage is having this huge renaissance. I feel like in the last, like, you know, 6 or 7 years, he's kind of, you know, been able to be in all sorts of like arty kind of movies. You know, taking some more chances on good stuff, not the, you know, not the bargain basement stuff that you like to watch, Sam, but the more like, you know. Just like kind of, you know, more wild, like, you know, arty movies that just, it seems like I'm calling it a Cage-assance, where he's being able to like express himself in all these different like kind of wild roles. And, you know, I guess my only hope for Cage in this movie is that he's almost like unrecognizable to the point that it doesn't, you know, kind of take me out of it while watching it. But I think they've been really smart with the marketing to not really like show you anything, you know. At least I haven't caught a glimpse of him in the trailer, or if I have, you don't really see his face to really know it's him.
Yeah, there's been like new stingers where it's like Mika Monroe, like when she first saw Nicolas Cage, like freaked out on set or something like that. It's like on the new teaser, like TV spot, so it's like really amping it up.
Yeah. So that's an interesting thing to talk about. I guess we can kind of get into that, because it seems like overhype is really big in modern cinema, but like really huge with horror lately. Like, it's almost like we're so starved for something, you know, new and different, or just something that's going to kind of blow our socks off, that like every new movie that comes out, whether it's Late Night with the Devil or something like Abigail, and now we're getting it with we had it with Maxine and Longlegs, of course. You know, where like, do you think that the fans are just overhyping themselves so much that there's no way these movies could ever live up to it?
I think in some cases, definitely, like if their favorite actor is in it, or their favorite scream queen or whatever, like they go crazy about it for like a year, and then the movie comes out and it's not as good as they expected. Maybe in some cases the movie's great. I loved Abigail.
Yeah, Abigail was fantastic.
Yeah,
but even like franchises, like we probably overhyped ourselves up for Evil Dead Rise.
Yeah,
and we walked out a little disappointed with that one.
Yeah, I got to do a rewatch on that. I think I'll appreciate it more a second time around, but definitely I love 2013 so much that I don't know. I thought it was going to be, I just hyped it up.
Yeah.
We felt like the teaser promised so much more than what was actually delivered.
Yeah.
You guys are speaking my language right now. Because I felt the same exact way. I felt like kind of like a jerk a little bit after watching Evil Dead Rise, where I was like, man, am I the jerk for not really liking that as much as I wanted to? Because same kind of thing you guys are like, when the trailer came out, I was like, oh man, if they're showing this in the trailer, like this movie is gonna like just be mind-blowing with where they push the gore. Because to echo what you were saying, Sam, 2013 is absolutely fantastic. To me, it's like it's my second favorite to the original, because it has that feeling of the original, but just slicker production, but in a way that, you know, feels real and visceral. And I felt like Rise sort of kind of walked up to the edge, didn't really take the dive. You know, it sort of like looked around and was like, yeah, this is fun to play near the edge, but I'm going to hang back. Because I felt like there was just something missing from Rise. I don't know. Maybe us Evil Dead fans are spoiled because that series is just so consistently impressive and kind of all over the place, but in a really cool way. Like, do you guys, you know, they're producing like 2 Evil Dead films. It seems like pre-production simultaneously, right? I don't know which stage each one is at, but do you guys want to see Evil Dead continue to sort of like genre bend a little bit? Do you want to see something that feels a little more like Evil Dead 2 or Ash versus Evil Dead that veers into a little bit more of that comedy, or something like Army of Darkness that really spills over there? Or like, what do you guys want to see from you know, a franchise like Evil Dead?
I'll let you answer. I'm not a big fan of the originals. The 2013 to me is a perfect movie. I love that movie.
Yeah.
But the originals, I didn't grow up on them. They just didn't do it for me. So you can answer that.
I think Army of Darkness is just such a lightning in a bottle type of movie, even though it wasn't even that like critically acclaimed when it came out. But I don't think you can find somebody that is as charming as Bruce Campbell is to kind of carry, or as talented as Sam Raimi is to kind of carry that tone in such a, like, each movie essentially shifts its tone so drastically. And he's been the only director that's been able to do that, in my opinion.
Yeah. The first 3 movies are like, it's straight up horror comedy, and then like comedy with a splash of horror. It's a really cool, like, that original trilogy takes you on quite a journey. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Like, no one's really tried that kind of thing. I mean, I get, you know, with what Ty West did with like Pearl X and Maxine is, you know, creative in a sense, because it's like each film sort of stands alone, you know, and has a different kind of feel. But yeah, nothing quite like a guy like Sam Raimi. I mean, man, what incredible style. His Spider-Man 2 is still one of those movies where I'm like, I always go back to Spider-Man 2. They can put out all sorts of comic book movies and all that, but I'm always going to go back to that movie and be like, that's like the perfect director for that style of movie, you know, just like taking the camera and just doing that kind of thing with it and just having fun. Now, Sam, you said you didn't grow up with Evil Dead. When you guys, how long have you guys known each other?
And these 6
5 years in August.
Is it 5?
5.
I thought it was 6. Oh, sorry.
5 years in August.
Now, were you into horror before you guys met, Sam, or was that something that you know?
Yeah, I was. So he's always been a movie buff. I still don't consider myself a movie buff. I'm just a horror fan. I've learned a lot over the years. But yeah, I started getting into horror when I was like horror in high school. And then in my 20s, I started just kind of watching extreme horror by myself on my laptop, because I had, like, in high school, I watched it with friends. And then in my 20s, our friends kind of like, our friend group dispersed, and I just kept watching it by myself. And then, and then I met you and we started watching even more horror.
Yeah. I remember when you came over to my place for the first time, and I'm like, I got this horror movie collection, and we were on a double date, and you totally ignored us, and you went and sat in front of my movie collection. It was just like, oh, I want to watch this and I want to watch that, and like
just ditched everyone on the date.
Yeah, and I'm just like, oh, she really likes that. That's cool.
That's something special right there. I was the guy that would go when people still were collecting CDs and stuff like that. I would go and like look at people's CD collections And there was a point in my life in my 20s where I was dating someone and they were like, I hate it when you do that. And I'm like, this is probably not going to work out then. Because I'm I'm a movie and music guy. So it's like either one. Like if I walk into someone's house and they have their, movie collection or record collection on display, like, yeah, you bet your ass I'm going to like thumb through that and see what's up, absolutely.
Yeah,
I'm the same way too. I met in Jess's place. I did that too when we first went over to their house. And I'm like, oh, they got their horror movie collection out. I'm just gonna sit here for a few minutes and take a gander.
Yeah. It's what better way to judge someone than to look at the art that they choose to spend money on, right? Now, Brendan, it sounds like you grew up, at least you mentioned you grew up watching Army of Darkness, but were you into horror as like a little kid, or when did you find horror in your life?
It was probably just a little bit before 2003. So I would have been like 9. Like I remember being shown like Jaws at a very young age, and then Deep Blue Sea. And then my uncles are all relatively close in age. So they were just like in high school when I was like young, and they would be getting like burnt copies of like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2003 and Darkness Falls, Jeepers Creepers. So they basically showed me everything, and then I'd send me home to my mom's place with screaming nightmares. But that's not exactly when I started to get into it. I guess 2003 was also when Freddy versus Jason came out, so that started my slasher boom, because I was always on the website for Freddy versus Jason looking at their kill stats, and then I had to go and get all the movies. That's when I started collecting, actually, because I had to collect all the Nightmare on Elm Street movies, and then the Friday the 13th. And then I didn't really start to get into like horror like a philosophical way until I watched George A. Romero's it's Tom Savini's Night of the Living Dead remake, and I just thought it was so fantastic. And then I just watched all of the Romero movies, so I got huge into those. George actually shot a bit of Survival of the Dead in my hometown growing up, so I got to see the man before he died.
Oh man, that's amazing.
Yeah, so it's just always been there. And then I went through phases like gangster movies, Oscar Best Winner series, and everything like that. But horror has always been the core. Like, so
yeah, I've found myself always coming back to horror, because I did the whole like in my 20s. Yeah, it was all right. I'm gonna watch Citizen Kane. I'm gonna go back and watch the old like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde with Frederick March. Like I'm just gonna watch all these older movies, just to sort of like gain that catalog of like the history of film. And I think it helps you appreciate like just how difficult film can be, what an awesome collaborative process that making a movie is. And then it helps kind of inform your opinion, as you like move on and watch things from there, watch films from there. You sort of like, not that you maybe you do judge them a little more harshly, but I feel like you just have a more well-rounded view of like, what's good cinema and what isn't. Now you guys are in Ontario, Canada, right?
Yes.
Did you guys both grow up there?
Yeah. We actually met at a music festival.
Yep.
So random.
Now, are you guys kind of in a big city, or are you close to a big city?
It's not big like Toronto or anything. It's small compared to Toronto.
Yeah.
You were from a small town.
Oh yeah, I was from a town with like one main intersection. I grew up in Port Dover. Have you ever heard of Port Dover?
I haven't, no, but Ontario is a pretty big province, isn't it? Land-wise?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like after we met, it turns out that you lived in Paris and I was living in Delhi, and
Paris, Ontario.
Yeah. And it was only
40 minutes.
40 minutes away from each other.
Yeah. So if like we want to go to like a horror convention or something, we go out to Niagara Falls.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. So so New York is even closer than, or Niagara is Toronto right near the falls, or relatively close? I'm so bad with my geography. It's
Me too,
embarrassing.
and I
like
live here.
The most American thing ever.
Toronto's about like an hour 40 from us, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And
Not terrible. Yeah.
No, it's just traffic. I don't really
Yeah.
want to. We talked about going to Fan Expo because that's like the huge one there in Toronto, but
I hate the city.
yeah, and I'm developing over time that I'm hating people. So
well, it's great. You know, you
Like
love horror,
crowds
you
of,
hate
like,
people.
crowds of people.
Crowds of people.
Yeah.
Crowds of people.
I'm right there with you. I grew up in a 30,000 person town in Southeast Alaska. So like there are times when I'm like, you know, growing up, especially, you're like, man, I want to, you know, go to concerts and I want to, you know, do all these really fun things that you can't do in a tiny town in Alaska. But now that I'm, you know, my wife and I live just outside of Phoenix, and it's like, it's really cool that we get to go and do the things we want to do. But man, every time I go out in a big crowd, I don't know what it is. The anxiety just like builds. And it's like, seems to be the older I get, the more nervous I become.
That's the same with me.
But all you got to do is wear that Terrifier 2 shirt. You know, people, they're wide berth. They'll be like, what the hell is that? I don't know what this guy's up to.
Yeah, this isn't an in public shirt. This is more of a
wear it at home.
home shirt.
Oh, it's great. I really enjoyed Terrifier 2. I had a terrible time with the first film, but I really, really enjoyed the second film. It like totally brought me like around on the whole thing. So I'm really looking forward to Terrifier 3. I would imagine you guys are as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you actually like the first one. Actually,
I like the second one more. I like the length of the first one. but I did hear that the third one is going to be around an hour 45.
Yeah, an hour 40, 45.
Yeah, so
perfect.
That's good. Yeah.
I think the third one could be the best one.
I'm looking forward to it.
It could be. I hope it's a franchise that just continues to get wilder and crazier with its ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I love that they're not giving away too much about like I know they've mentioned like the opening scene is gonna like shock you and all this stuff, but I'm glad that we're not getting like actual leaks on it. I know there was like when the trailer came out, there was a, you know, horror Twitter is hilarious because like the trailer came out and there was like this faction of people that were like, oh my gosh, if they kill children, then that's just it for me. That's where I draw the line. And it's just sort of like, oh my gosh, like, what are we doing here? Like everything should be on the table with a franchise like Terrifier, right? Isn't that why the franchise exists?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's such a taboo thing to kill children in horror movies, but like we just watched one, and it killed at least one child in a very brutal.
What movie?
We just watched Jaws.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. No one talks about that. I haven't even, like, Jaws is my favorite film of all time. It's never even occurred to me that like, yeah, that's a straight up child. That's a creepy kill too. And I don't know. Have you guys seen like because they have like behind the scenes pictures of like when they were trying to shoot that to show more of the shark or whatever, and it looks even more like creepy and terrifying. Have you guys seen those black and white pictures?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, I'll have to send them to you once we offline or whatever. They're just, you know, it just makes it even more disturbing. But I do love, like, you see that flash of like the fin spinning in the water and just that little bit of screaming. And man, Jaws is, you know, how many films do everything right the way that Jaws does? Like drama, thrills, scares, comedy. It does whatever it wants. No porno though.
No.
A little bit at the start.
Yeah.
Well, we're doing a live on it tomorrow. It was Sam's first time watch.
Yeah,
for Jaws.
I watched it for the very first time.
Oh, nice. So you pre-recorded it, or wait, or you're?
No, it's live tomorrow night. Yeah.
Okay. So you just watched it for the first time, and then you guys are discussing it
Tomorrow, yeah.
Awesome. Everybody, check the link in the description below. Go ahead and sub over at Our Life in Horror, and make sure you watch that. I'll be there. I will be there. Well, until Kate and I are going to see Longlegs at 7:00 tomorrow,
Nice.
Our time. So I would imagine you guys are probably going to be. What time does it? What time will that be going live?
7 p.m. Eastern.
Oh, perfect.
So I'm not sure what time it is there for you.
That'll be 4 p.m. right when I get done with work. Click right on over because I'll take all the Jaws I can get. And I really enjoy, like, I love your guys's, you know, the chemistry, and you know, just really love that you guys are, you know, jumping right out of the gate, putting together so many videos. What's that like, balancing, you know, work life, you know, your relationship, and then also the content creation? Is that something that you guys have found a groove in now that you've been doing it for 4 months, or is it kind of an ongoing process?
I feel like we have a better groove now than we did podcasting. Do you think that?
Yeah, I think one thing that's nice about having two people that have two different tastes in movies allows us for more product, essentially, like videos, right?
You do some solo reviews, I do some solo trailer reviews
And reviews.
Yeah, and he'll do lots of physical media stuff. I don't collect physical media, so that's all his stuff, but then I edit the videos, so like it just works.
Yep.
Yeah, and then if I need to decompress, I watch reality TV in the bedroom. If he needs to decompress, he watches whatever he wants in the living room. And
yeah, like I'm trying so hard. I'm having a hard time trying to keep up with the physical media because it's almost like every day there's something announced. And I work the 5 days a week, and then sometimes I'll work weekends as well during the summer because I'm a mason. So it's my time to earn some extra cash here and there. So I have been having a real difficult time with trying to keep up.
It's hard too because like some YouTube channels, they focus solely on physical media, and then others are solely on reviews, and we're kind of doing it all, which I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but so that probably makes it hard for you to keep up with the physical media too, because it's like, oh, we have a live tonight, sorry, like you can't barely do your physical media video now because I'm not gonna have time to edit it and stuff. So we don't have that like niche thing, I guess. But I mean, I'm having fun doing it still. So
yeah, same with me too. Yeah. Like I just got to do an unboxing for the Psycho 4K that Arrow released, the box set. So I had a lot of fun doing that. I hope people that watch it have a good time with it too.
Yeah, I saw that you just posted that video just a few hours ago, right?
Yeah.
So look at that, guys. Sub if you haven't already. You know, you're at about 250 right now on subs. Is that where it's at?
230 something.
230 something.
Yeah.
Guys, go over there. Hop out of the stream if you have to. Go sub. Come on back. We'll be waiting for you. We'll just sit here and do this until you guys come back. Jamie just subbed. That's great. Yeah, let's get them over that 250 hump here during the stream if we can. I know. You know, each milestone feels so good, especially when you're just getting going, and it's, you know, it kind of helps fuel that fire there. But you're absolutely right about, you know, just trying to, like, when I first started, it was sort of like anything I want to cover, I'm just going to like put it out there. I'll throw all the noodles at the wall and see which ones stick, you know? But, you know, to your guys' point, it's like YouTube almost like punishes you if you try to do a whole bunch of different stuff. You know, like they kind of want content creators that are like going to have their thing, you know? And yeah, the physical media is really tough to, you know, keep up on, not only because of all the announcements, but man, it's an expensive hobby, you know? So to be able to cover it, it kind of blows my mind. Some of these channels, I'm like, man, like you know, more power to them. I wish I were in that spot where it's just like, yeah, you can buy everything and review everything. I mean, that would be amazing. But it's like, you know, I sort of, you know, pick my spots. But yeah, I did I have something called the Physical Media Show Off Show that I haven't touched in months because it just wasn't getting the views. But I really loved it because I was showing off, like, you know, Blu-rays and like vinyl. Like my wife and I have 550 records. So I was showing off like special edition vinyl and all, like, stuff that I'm really passionate about. But it's like, you know, sometimes you see the views and you're like, okay, well, I'm not going to get my feelings hurt about it, but maybe I just need to sort of redirect that energy and then maybe build up the following, and I can always go back and see if it hits at that time. Yeah, I'll have to check out the Psycho box set once we're offline, and then of course, yeah, going to tune in for Jaws tomorrow as well, because especially in the summer, I can't get enough Jaws. Like, we've already watched 1, 2, and The Revenge. I think we're going to do a live stream watch along of Jaws 3 this weekend.
Oh, nice. When are you doing it?
I think we'll do it on Saturday. I'm like, once I get done with this, I'll make a thumbnail. It's sort of like, yeah, I mean, you guys know what it's like. It's as soon as you're done with one thing, you're like, all right, well, let me pull the computer out to the living room and like get back to work. But, you know, it's like these, you know, there's something about being creative that's just really good for mental health. So like, that's kind of how I look at it, coming from a music world where like I had so much fun playing music and writing music and all that. But once I stepped away from it and kind of like, you know, turned the page on that, I was like, man, I'm sort of bummed out now that I'm not being creative. So I felt like once I got into YouTube, it was like, all right, I feel kind of alive again and like a little bit like my old self. Do you guys feel, is that something that you guys get that sort of gratification from, you know, creating content on YouTube?
I definitely do. I think that's why I like it so much more than the podcast. When we were podcasting, I burned out like every month, probably like once a month I would burn out.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if I've really burned out doing YouTube yet.
I don't think so.
No. And I think it's because, you know, like you said, you're making the thumbnail, you're making the background for your green screen. I do all the editing clearly, but it's like just a good creative outlet. And it's not just audio, right? Like you get to do more artsy fun stuff, a background for the live. And I don't know, it's fun to do.
Yeah. I think I burned out in the first 2 weeks, but I think
of YouTube.
I think it's just because like we were trying so much at the start and we
were trying to fire out videos real quick.
Yeah, and we just hadn't like
we didn't ease into it.
No, or figure out a system on how to do things.
No, it was a learning curve for sure.
Yeah, but I'm good with it now.
Yeah, me too.
And like you said, yeah, it's a good creative outlet. Like I used to be I was a drama kid and I don't do any of that anymore. Like I just go to work and lay bricks. So
well, yeah, I that's the great thing about YouTube is people, you know, whatever your background is, even if it's not an artistic background, it's just this awesome outlet for, you know, people to express themselves, show off their personality, share what they love, and then, you know, hang out with people and make friends within the community, whether it's the audience members or the fellow content creators. So yeah, it's pretty awesome. But yeah, you know, it's one of those things where you just sort of have to put the blinders on sometimes. And you're like, I'm just going to put my head down and do this because I want to do it. Damn the man and damn the views. I'm just going to go ahead. Like Nick says here, Nick Push, screw the views. Do your thing, Davey. It's true, Nick. It's true. And you know, the physical media show off show, well, maybe it'll come back. But yeah, it is a tough game out there in YouTube. Absolutely. Yeah, you guys are, you know, coming up on what, 4 months. I saw that you just posted that you guys are doing you're putting together something special for right around Halloween. I saw you're asking for folks to sort of like record their own contributions for something that you're wrapping up in August just to get it all ready for the spooky season, right?
Yeah, so we got the idea from Sledgehammer Horror. They were on your show. We went on their show too for our first horror movie episode. And yeah, so they did a video where they had people submit videos for, it was like a scene in a non-horror movie that scared them.
Yeah.
And so I was like, that's a really good idea. So I like shouted them out too when we did our post. But yeah, we just wanted people to submit like a 1 to 3 minute clip of them just saying what their favorite Halloween movie is, like to watch during spooky season, and we'll put them all together, and then September or October we'll release it. I don't know, it's just, I love socializing in the community. That's another thing I love about YouTube is we get to like chat with more people. It's another platform. Like I'm all over Twitter too. I run the page. I'm talking with people all day, so I just like to chat with everyone and see where everyone comes from and what everyone's into. And yeah.
Yeah, I think that's probably the benefit too of doing YouTube over doing like a podcast. I feel like there's just a bit more of a, you know, when people can see you, I think people can relate a little bit more, right? So, and then you just get to, you know, because even though I may enjoy certain podcasts, I'm way more likely to tune into somebody on YouTube, even if I click my screen off and just end up listening to them while I'm doing chores or whatever, I like the option of being able to like, what's this person look like? Like, let me put, you know, a face with the voice. And, you know, again, you get to just see how expressive, you know, it's another form of expression, just being able to see somebody. So I think that's definitely, yeah, one of those things with interacting with the community as well, and being able to put a face to the names that you see, you know, scrolling through the chat when you guys are doing your lives, and or even, you know, like I'm sure you guys are the same way as I am. When I'm not making a video, I'm in somebody else's live chat trying to cause a ruckus. So
I go in lives all the time at night. Yeah, it's more personable.
Yeah. Oh, it's great. That's why, you know, and I didn't do lives for, man, I'd probably been doing it YouTube for about 6 months because I just wanted to kind of build something up. So I'm like, man, the last thing I want to do is go live and then be like, oh, I wasn't ready for that, or I didn't like, you know, I don't know what the heck the fear was, but like once I started doing it, I'm like, oh shit, now I'm addicted to the live thing. Like screw the pre-recorded thing. That takes a long time. You know all about it, Sam, from doing the editing, that it's like I would do these videos and I'd stay up till like 3 or 4 in the morning editing. And then because I gave myself a deadline like a moron, and then I'd wake up at 7 a.m. and go to work. It was just brutal.
Yeah, it's nice that the lives, you do the live and then it's just thrown onto the channel. You don't have to touch it.
Yeah. And then, yeah, if you guys do you guys use StreamYard for your lives?
Yeah.
And then you can cut it up from like what I've been doing is, I just cut out like a section. So because the YouTube doesn't do much favors for the live streams. I don't know if everyone in the chat knows this or not, but once you do a live stream, maybe like 24 hours, you get some views. But after that, it's sort of, but you know, if you can chop it up a little bit, make it a little more interesting. StreamYard does that really cool AI shorts clips. Have you guys played around with that feature?
No, I don't even know what that is.
If you keep your video under 2 hours long, it'll be like, hey, do you want to generate these AI clips? And it's hilarious because the AI, it'll just grab like 30-second to minute long shorts, and it'll create these hilarious titles. I don't know I know everyone hates AI, but it's like, hey, if you're doing like a DIY project, you know, it's like, I can't hire somebody to do shorts for me, so why not let the AI do it, you know?
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, it's pretty all right. Yeah, guys, let's get into, I'm thinking it's time to play a little start, bench, cut. Unless there's anything else you guys want to bring up. I think we covered what you guys have coming or going on lately and what you guys have coming up. But is there something else you guys want to pitch, or maybe you know, let us know about a collaboration on someone else's channel that you guys have coming up?
Do we have any?
I know. You know what? I'm blanking, so we'll pass for now. I don't have my calendar in front of me, and then I'm like brain fried. So
you know what's great though about a show like this is if it ever pops in your head for the remainder of the interview, you can just blurt it out.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So guys, in the chat, if you want to either ask Sam and Brendan a question, or if you want to contribute a start, bench, cut, now is the time to throw those in the chat. I'm going to get going with this one's kind of like a classic one, I think. Start, bench, cut. I'm going to do one-off horror films. So horror films that did not have a sequel. Let's do start, bench, cut. We'll go with Black Christmas 74, The Burning, and what's another good one? My Bloody Valentine. Start, bench, cut.
Yeah, 2 Canadian titles in there. I think I know.
I threw you guys a little love.
I think I know what I'm doing.
All right, go for it.
I'm going to. So start is the best, right?
Yeah. So
Okay.
Start would be exactly.
I'm gonna go Black Christmas. I'm gonna bench My Bloody Valentine, and I'm gonna cut The Burning, which I do like The Burning, but
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna start The Burning.
no.
Okay. I'm gonna start My Bloody Valentine. I'm gonna bench Black Christmas, and then I'm gonna cut The Burning.
Oof. Sorry, The Burning.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you guys on. I've only watched The Burning once. I bought it to watch it, And I was like, oh no, this movie, I don't know if I really like it very much because I know it's a total classic. It's like you feel bad if you don't like something that's a classic, you know?
I did like it. I just like the
yeah.
others more.
I did too, but yeah, I think My Bloody Valentine, the original, is just so much fun. Like, what a lovable bunch of characters. Like,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then Black Christmas is just downright creepy.
Yeah,
Like,
it is. It's I like festive movies. I mean, they're both festive, I guess, but yeah.
Yeah, Black Christmas, like the whole, it really does like have a Christmas feel. I think that's like the best thing going for it. And I think even like the 06, like it's kind of a remake, sort of a semi sequel-ish remake. I feel like that's got a good Christmas vibe too. And like, yeah, there's something about the original Black Christmas. It's almost like it gets that, and the original Halloween to me every year get creepier and creepier. I don't know what it is. And I can't even get my wife to watch Black Christmas because one time she walked through and heard Billy on the phone and was like, I don't ever want to see this. I don't ever want you to imitate that voice as I'm imitating, you know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, that movie is incredibly effective. And yeah, My Bloody Valentine. What do you guys think about Blumhouse getting the rights to My Bloody Valentine? What do you guys want to see happen with the franchise?
I don't know what I want to see happen, but unpopular opinion, I'm okay with it. Like I'm down. I'm always down for another Valentine's Day themed horror movie. I'm just festive like that. I know you have a different opinion. I can see it in your eyes.
I don't know. It just depends on what they do with the project, really. Like they totally fumbled The Exorcist. They also fumbled the Halloween trilogy. They haven't really, like, Imaginary, I hear, wasn't that great. They've been really struggling lately in horror. What was the Night Swim, I think, was also a Blumhouse movie.
I didn't hate it.
That movie was fucking awful.
I didn't hate Night Swim.
It seems like they might have a little bit more of a better track record with the franchises, just a little bit. Yeah. I mean, Halloween, like I like those David Gordon Green Halloween movies. Of course, there's parts that don't really work for me. You know, even if they fumbled Halloween, they at least got the ball back and were able to kick a field goal. Maybe they didn't score the touchdown, but I feel like they got a little something out of there. Yeah, I mean, what do you do with My Bloody Valentine? It's been so long since the original, and then the remake didn't go anywhere. So it's almost like you have to like remake it. You know, it's like you're in a weird spot like with that. And hopefully, you know, because both of the films in the series so far end on cliffhangers. So hopefully they can find a way to end it on a cliffhanger and actually make the follow-up. Because I think that's one of the biggest shames in horror history is that we didn't get a true sequel to the original My Bloody Valentine.
Yep. Even the 09 one, I like the 09 one.
I love that.
I almost would like to see Jensen Ackles back as
Yeah,
he wasn't Axel, was he? No, the cop was Axel.
Yeah.
Yeah. But because they did the flip. They did the whole flip where it's like it's not Axel, it's the killer in the remake.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, everyone. It's a 15-year-old movie. Get with the times. So they could go legacy sequel, bring Jensen back.
Yeah. They could bring back all the trio because they're all still alive. They're all still fairly young. Like Jensen was just in The Boys, and he's more ripped than fucking ever. You know?
Is he? I've totally. You guys have been covering The Boys lately, haven't you, on your channel?
We missed the last 2 episodes.
Oh no!
Yeah.
I know it was something we wanted to do, and then it just.
Well, it just so happens that every new horror movie is coming out when the season's debuting.
The Boys comes out on Thursdays, and we like to go see the new movies on Thursdays. So it just kind of
Well, just quit your jobs and live in poverty and make YouTube videos. What's wrong with you?
Right?
Come on. It is like sometimes it makes me wonder. I'm like, I had Christian from Planet CHH. You guys watch his channel?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's coming on ours in a couple of weeks.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, that guy is so impressive, the amount of content he creates. I had him on late night and was kind of picking his brain, and he's just like, yeah, I come when I come up on my weekend, I just stay up like all night essentially that first night and shoot for 8 to 10 hours. And I'm just like, excuse me? Like,
that's
oh
wild.
my, that's impressive, man. It's almost like athletic at that point to be able to do that much. Let's see. You know what? We've actually got some start bench cut requests from the live chat. So Big Rod's got one for you guys. Start bench cut Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, and the Scream franchises as a whole.
Ooh.
That makes it tougher when you're doing a whole franchise, huh? Makes it a little tougher.
Yeah. I think I know what I'm doing.
Sam, you're decisive.
I can wing it.
I think I'm going to go with Scream starts, bench, Nightmare on Elm Street, and cut Halloween.
Oh,
yeah. I'm not a big Halloween girly.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, it's been fun. No, I'm just joking.
You're also probably not going to like my answer either. I'm going to start A Nightmare on Elm Street. I'm going to bench Scream, and then I'm going to cut Halloween as well.
Oh, all right. Hey, you know, all opinions are welcome here. I had nothing to do with making any of those movies, so I don't take it personally. That's for sure. Yeah, that's a really good one, Big Rod.
That was hard.
Oh, man. That is really tough. I would probably... I know I didn't chime in on the one that I gave out, but you know, I guess that makes sense. But Big Rod, just in case, not saying that you're asking me to contribute, but I would go start Halloween, bench Scream, and cut A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because with A Nightmare on Elm Street, there's only a few of those movies that I really like, you know, could rewatch every year, you know, something like that. I don't know.
I haven't seen them all. That's why I benched them. But I do love Freddy Krueger. So
yeah, part 5, 6, and then the remake. They might change your opinion.
Freddy's dead.
I actually don't hate the remake.
Yeah.
I mean, what's to hate, really? It's like I can't really hate on it too much, but I do think it's when you compare it to like TCM 03 and you know, the Friday the 13th remake, and then you put on a Nightmare remake, you're like, oh geez, this is, you know, not even close. But you know, I'm not one of those people that like just hates the remake just because they're a remake. It's like I'll give them all a fair shot, you know, especially when it comes to horror, because I just think we need as much horror as we can get.
Yeah.
And Jamie's got a really good one here. Start bench cut 80s remakes: The Fly, The Blob, The Thing.
I can't answer. I haven't seen any of them. That's all you.
You watched The Blob?
Oh, I have seen The Blob, so I'm starting The Blob. Don't know what I'm doing with the rest, though.
Yeah, you had a great time with The Blob.
The Blob's really
the pink
fun.
one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. I actually did like that movie.
This is probably the hardest decision I'm ever gonna have to make in my life. Oh geez. I'll start The Thing. I'll bench The Fly, and I'll cut The Blob. Oh, that hurts.
That is really tough. Yeah, I've got to start The Thing, right? I'm probably right there with you, Brendan. I would start The Thing, bench The Fly, and cut The Blob. I've only seen The Blob like twice, so maybe if I watched it a little bit more, I might feel a little bit differently. But those are all really high quality remakes.
Yeah, the Blob is just so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
But the first two are so serious and such well-made movies. It's just so hard.
Yeah. And The Blob, wasn't that directed by Chuck Russell? I think he did. Was it Dream Warriors? I think he directed that movie as well.
I think so. I don't know too much about it.
And Frank Darabont wrote the script for The Blob, I think.
Yes.
I'm trying to pull out with, drudge through all the THC and everything to find some facts. Shawnee Smith is in The Blob, right? Everyone loves Shawnee Smith.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's a Dylan. I can't remember.
Oh yeah.
Is it
not Matt Dillon? It's his brother, right?
Yeah.
I can't remember his name. I feel so bad because I feel like Matt's become more of the star like after. But yeah, his brother is like the leather jacket motorcycle guy. He like takes that crazy jump across the little gully there. Yeah. What a blast of a movie. Yeah, absolutely. Let's see here. Gavin, I don't know if this is a start bench cut, but he just wants to know who you would invite to your summer barbecue cookout. Captain Spaulding, Chop Top, or Hannibal Lecter?
Spalding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I would invite Hannibal as long as he's going to cook for me.
Oh,
As
there
long as
you
he's not,
go.
as long as he's not going to cook me.
Yeah.
Hannibal's an interesting character because he's like so charming, but it's like you just never know. Is he gonna let you go, or are you gonna be a victim? You know,
Oh, yeah.
like,
I think I would just laugh with Spalding.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you know, Sid Haig is very, you know, what a charming personality as far as like just larger than life, you know, those characters that he plays. Even in that terrible Night of the Living Dead 3D remake movie that he was in, still fun, you know. Which if you like trashy movies, Sam, you should watch that, because Night of the Living Dead doesn't have, they forgot to put the copyright on it. Do you guys know that whole story with that? Yeah. That is like the biggest heartbreaker in horror history right there. I just imagine the empire that Romero would have been able to set up if they just included that damn copyright. Let's see here. Oh, Kate's contributing there. Start, Scream, Bench, Halloween, Cut, Nightmare. All right, well, we're getting a divorce. No, I'm just joking. Tyler, it is too late to start over. However, you can always scrub back, right? So no worries, no worries. We call that an L take. He's ripping me for something. This guy, I tell you. We got Cheesy Corn Pop popping in as well. All right, does anybody have any other start bench cuts? Let me fly through here. Kate says, OMG girl, watch The Thing.
That's like a space movie though, isn't it? I'm not big on space movies.
It takes place on Earth.
What?
Yeah, it's an
alien, right?
It's an alien that's been like frozen in Antarctica for God knows how long.
Yeah, I really don't think it's gonna be for me.
She's never seen the original Alien.
No, I'm gonna watch it for the first time before we go see the new one.
Yep.
Yeah, the original Alien's
there
awesome.
There was one alien movie that I liked,
Extraterrestrial.
That one was wild.
Yeah.
E.T., the extraterrestrial?
No, this is a Canadian movie. I can't remember who directed it now. It's a set of brothers. They also directed Grave Encounters.
It's like a found footage, right?
No.
Wasn't it?
No, it's an actual movie. They do some cell phone footage here and there.
Oh, maybe that's why I'm getting confused.
But it's like a slasher movie, but with like the gray aliens. It's
okay.
And the ending is just wild.
Yeah.
I'll have to check it out. Yeah, anytime I can watch something new, I always ask everyone in the chat because there's a lot I haven't seen as well. So I'm just like, guys, send me a DM. Let me know these movies I have to watch, because always looking for something new to watch. But yeah, I mean, you know, if you like, I would say The Thing is one of those movies that's more of like kind of like a paranoia movie. You know, like did you ever watch The Faculty?
Yeah.
The late 90s movie, The Faculty. I would say The Faculty is like a teen slasher version of The Thing, because there's that paranoia of like who is the alien, who's been, you know, compromised by the thing. There's even a scene, you know, the scene in The Faculty where they like snort the drugs to like prove that they're not, you know, the alien or whatever. There's like a test scene in the original Thing. Plus Kurt Russell and John Carpenter, like in the 80s, you can't fucking go wrong. I mean, yeah, The Thing is incredible. Probably, I would say arguably John Carpenter's best movie, including Halloween. And then let's see here. Necromechanimal says start bench cut Terrifier kills. Wow, we're getting really specific. This is awesome. I love this. Hacksaw, The Last Supper, or The Bedroom Kill.
The bedroom is like the salt one, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Hacksaw's up the.
Yep.
And what's The Last Supper? Remind me.
It's Last Supper.
I think the Last Supper would be the one where he's like shoving the mashed potatoes in like he shot the woman with the shotgun like through the car window and then sets her up at the table, and he like comes out with the apron and he's all like,
okay. I'm cutting that one because I forget it.
There you go.
Oh, this is hard though. I like the Hacksaw. I'm starting the Hacksaw. So I'll bench bedroom, I guess. That's tough though.
It is tough.
Yeah.
They're both really good.
Yeah, I'd say for shock factor here, I'm probably gonna go with the hacksaw to start, and then the bedroom, and then the potato one, the dinner table. The dinner table one just makes me laugh because it's so over the top and fun.
I honestly don't
Yeah.
even remember what it is, even after you guys explained it. So that says a lot.
Yeah, it's funny that Terrifier 2 by comparison seems like reserved to the first one, because I feel like that hacksaw kill, right? That's the one that goes from, you know, vag to mouth, right?
Yeah.
Is that the one? Yeah. that one's pretty
wild.
hardcore.
Did you watch the trailer for what's the trailer that just dropped? Stream?
Yeah.
It's
No.
Damien Leon did the
special effects. It's from the same
shit.
like team that does the Terrifier movies.
It's got a stacked cast.
Oh damn.
Yeah.
Stream?
Yeah.
All right.
It looks good. Daniel Harris is in it.
Jeffrey Combs,
Felissa Rose.
There's a few recognizable faces in there too that I know I've seen them in something else, but I can't remember. I swear to God, I think Tony Todd's in there.
He is. I looked it up here on YouTube.
Wallace.
Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, D. Wallace.
It looks like it's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
And David Howard Thornton. There he is.
Yeah.
Man, it is incredible. Like, you know, when you're trying to create a slasher and you have that, you know, mute killer, it has to be so exact if you're gonna get the audience like on your side. And I feel like his performance as Art the Clown is like, that's make or break for each one of those, you know, each of the two movies. If he's not, you know, hitting it, it just ain't working. That, like, his performance to me is just incredible. Hats off to that guy. Little tiny black hats off to that guy.
I agree.
And then I saw that Raymond had put one out there and I totally missed it. So he says, start, bench, cut, Jason Goes to Hell, Freddy's Dead, and Halloween Resurrection.
I haven't seen any of those.
Oh dear. It's another hard one. I haven't seen Halloween Resurrection in so long. I'd probably start Freddy's Dead, bench Jason Goes to Hell, cut Halloween.
Yeah, it is really tough.
Yeah, I think Freddy's Dead is just like Freddy Krueger if he was thrown into a Looney Tunes cartoon. So if you look at it that way, you can actually have a lot of fun with it. Yeah,
it's pretty like kid friendly at that point. You know, not too adult. I mean, shit, when he's like playing Nintendo, it's like, you know, it's all over.
Yeah, or doing the Wicked Witch of the West at the start of the movie. It's like, oh my God, what have I got myself into?
Yeah. I'll get you, my pretty, and your little soul too. And then at Goo Goo Dolls in the soundtrack, just killing it. You know, they became the soundtrack band of the 90s. I feel like every big hit they had was on some sort of soundtrack. This one is tough. I'd probably start Jason Goes to Hell. I'd probably bench Halloween Resurrection and cut Freddy's Dead. That's the way I am. And then Carbonite, E.T., the Canadian E.T. Low hanging fruit, but I love it. That gets my approval. And then Nick is just like, the controversy surrounding Nick Push and his horror channel. Start, bench, cut Canada, USA, Mexico. Nick, that's just unfair. What do you expect these guys to say, huh? You start Canada and cut the rest, right?
Yeah, pretty much, I guess.
No comment.
Have you guys spent much time in the States at all?
Yeah,
a little bit.
I went to Florida, like to Disney and stuff growing up, and then where did I go? I did a road trip to a music festival. I think it was in Atlanta.
You're looking at me like I know.
I know. Tomorrow World, it was called. It was a big rave.
Yeah.
I went there twice. And then like New York, I went just like, I think I went for a wedding or something, but I haven't explored too much there in the States.
Yeah. I mean, you know, what's the difference, right? It's just Here we have less French, you know, on our street signs, and it's all miles per hour instead of kilometers. I don't know what the rest of the difference. I don't know. I can't tell the difference.
Have you been here?
Yeah, just a little bit though. Just I mean, really just driving through British Columbia and then going and playing shows up there in the Vancouver area.
Okay.
So not too much really. Just I played when I was in my mid to late 20s, played it was this house show in East Vancouver. We played in a basement and it was like a squat house. So it's like, no joke, I went to use the bathroom and I looked up and like the ceiling was like rotted out. It was like, I played punk rock for a long time. I'm a relatively clean cut as far as punk rock goes. I came from a good home. So I was like, man, I really love the punk rock music, but I don't know if I can hang with these punks. But it was great. What I loved about the stuff, I'm a candy junkie and I love the different candy in Canada. So I love, like, you know, going into the store and be like, oh, they have apple Mentos. Like, this is friggin' blowing my mind, you know, because we just have the mixed fruit and the peppermint, which is fine, but it's kind of cool to go and see something else, you know?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I think we're all wrapped. I don't see any other start bench cuts. I know I told you guys I'd keep you for about 45 minutes. I feel like we're just a little bit past that. Look at Nick's just having a blast there. But yeah, guys, you know, before you head out, I just want to remind everybody, check out the link in the description below. Go check out our Life in Horror on YouTube. Follow them on Insta. I think I put the Insta, the Twitter, and the YouTube in the links in the description below. Let's get them past that 250 tonight. That's the goal here. And yeah, guys, tune in for the Jaws. You doing a watch along with Jaws?
No,
you're discussing it.
Discussion, yeah.
Perfect. So yeah, guys, live Jaws discussion tomorrow, and then a whole bunch of content down the pike. So really appreciate you guys hanging with us. Is there anything you want to give you know, the folks here in the chat, you know, a little send off or anything like that before you head out?
Oh, just thank you so much for having us on. We had a lot of fun.
Yeah, this was a blast.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah, we'll have to do something in the future. Maybe we can, I don't know if you guys heard me mention that Fatchy and I are trying to put something together where we do like watch alongs with our ladies. Maybe we could, you know, get you guys in on one of those. You know, I guess that's the cool thing about YouTube is like, once you interact with the content creator, it's sort of like, all right, cool. Now what's the next thing? Even if it's a month or two down the road, like we'll figure out a good time to put something together. So I had a blast getting to know you guys. This is the first time we've really like chatted. I don't know if anyone in the, you know, folks in the chat know that. This is, you know, sometimes I go into these interviews and it's just like, here we go. And yeah, it was great getting to know you guys. And I feel like, you know, very similar vibes to, especially when we're talking Evil Dead. I'm like, oh, these are my people right here. So maybe we'll have to do a little something Evil Dead related. Maybe Sam will bring you on to the you know, original trilogy. Come over to our side.
He's tried.
Yeah, I've been trying.
You know, you never know. But yeah, guys, thank you so much. Really appreciate you guys, especially out there on the East Coast, staying up late for me. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and I'll be hopping in the chat to bug you tomorrow night. And yeah, have a great rest of your night. Really appreciate you guys stopping by.
You too.
Thank you so much,
Bye.
you too.
Thank you.
Take care, y'all.
Bye.
All right, guys. Well, that, you know, maybe before, how about this? Before I sign off for the evening, because this is a relatively short show, what I wanted to do is, you know, just show you guys. I know the other week I had my buddy Cole Monroe Chitty on the show, and, you know, we were showing off the designs that he had made for, you know, each show that we have here on the channel. And I'm going to be doing some rehaul or overhaul on the merch sites and be putting up some shirts this coming weekend. So I wanted to just really quick show you guys those images just to refresh everyone's memory, kind of whet your appetite for, you know, a rollout of new merch. So let me see if my computer will play along with me here, and let me get into, there we go, what's going on. Okay, I guess it doesn't want to let me do that. Well, I thought I could share. Your browser has blocked your screen. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I thought I had a way to get the Photoshop brought up here, but I don't know if it doesn't look like my computer is playing along, guys. Well, that's too bad. Yeah, let's see. Actually, you know what? How about give me 1 minute? I'll try to talk through everything here. So, guys, let me know in the chat who is going to go check out Long Legs this weekend. I saw Gavin, you had put no spoilers because you're going to go check it out second weekend. So we already know when Gavin's going to check it out. But guys, let me know in the chat who is planning on seeing Long Legs this weekend. Who just can't wait? Let's see here. I think I might be able to. Yeah, why not? Why not just show you guys my Gmail? No big deal, right? All right, let's jump into here. Boom and boom. There we go. There it is. All right, guys. So you are now in my Google Drive. So yeah, guys, we have this main design here for the channel itself, the Davey Deathray with the headphones and the knife that I'm super pumped on. I love that look. That's just going to be, you know, we'll put that on a black shirt, what have you. And then, you know, going from there, we've got, let's see here. There's the Late Night with the Davey. This one is really cool. Totally get the Grand Theft Auto kind of vibes from this one. It's just so cool. Visual arts are something that I try as a kid. I love drawing and all that stuff. Like I love comic books and I love visual art, but it's something that I never really excelled at, even though I had a lot of fun time drawing as a kid. So it's amazing to me to, you know, just give somebody an idea or just show them what you have already and let them run with it. And Cole had such a fun time putting these together. You can tell. I don't even like the, you know, making the facial expressions. It's all, I don't know how to describe it. It's like, it's flattering and surreal at the same time, even though I asked him to do it. And then this one's one of my favorites here. I love this movie punks. Guys, I have none of those tattoos. I have one tattoo. I don't even know if you guys can see it. It's a 13. Kate and I got married on a Friday the 13th, so we both got 13s on our wrist. But if you look at this, it looks like I'm a total badass. What I got a, you know, Jason mask, the spider web, the knife. I love the evil dies on my hands. That's something like I might disappoint Kate and do something like that. I think that would be hilarious to get evil dies. She won't let me get a thorn tattoo, so I gotta have my way sometime, right? And then let's take a look at the last one. Maybe the best one of the bunch, folks. This movie date with Davey and Kate. Oh, it's just amazing to me. I can't even, all the detail there, you know, that's exactly what I look like when I watch movies, by the way. You know, popcorn bucket full of innards and just a dazed look at on my face. Oh, I love it. Yeah, so guys, I'll be you know, putting that all up on, you know, I'm gonna start a T Public store. So I'm gonna kind of shift things over from the Spring store to the T Public, and we're gonna get these going here this weekend. So I wanted to show that off to you guys before we jumped off tonight, just so you know, maybe you can put a little money away from your most recent paycheck and grab yourself a sweet little shirt, you know, a little something something. And we'll probably put out you know, some other merch as well, you know, mugs, cups, hats, all that kind of fun stuff. So let's see here. I wanted to get back with you guys on Long Legs. Oh, there we go. That's what's up. Yeah, let's see here. So Big Rod said Cole's art is awesome. After I get moved next month, I'm getting some prints. There you go. Yeah, his prints are really good. If you check out his, you know, like he's got a bunch of really cool like Freddy he's got some Freddy pieces, Freddy Krueger. He's got I really love the Big Trouble in Little China where Jack has like the lipstick on. That's a really good one. Some RoboCop stuff, all sorts of really fun art. You know, art where he riffs off characters that are already out there in the ether. and then some art where, you know, he's creating his own and like really bringing that. Yeah, I love that kind of like, I don't know how to describe it, just kind of gritty and like rough style, you know, all the detail that he puts in there, like a lot of line work, but it just brings so much character to his pieces. And then Tyler says, I need to see Longlegs. It was nice getting to, or yeah, nice getting to see Maxine. Yeah, it's been, man, horror fans have been eating so well in 2024. It's pretty wild. Like, especially when you consider, you know, the biggest franchise movie coming out this year for horror fans is, I guess, Alien Romulus is probably the biggest one, right? Because Beetlejuice is more comedy. Yeah, Maxine is horror, but it's so relatively new that it doesn't have like the gravitas of a series like Alien. And then even though Nosferatu's coming out on Christmas, it's like, I mean, it's not really a franchise. This is just kind of bringing it back. I think the last time they remade it was about 50 years ago in the 70s. So yeah, it's been a great year for horror and horror fans. Let's see here. Jamie says, I'm definitely going to see Longlegs over the weekend. Hell yeah. Raymond says, I'm not going to see it until Blu-ray or streaming. Yeah, I totally get you, Raymond. It's, you know, picking and choosing which movies you go to the theater for, you know, it's kind of an art. I'm definitely in a spot where I can't go see everything I want to see in the theater. You know, even if I'm dying to see it, it's like with Longlegs, it's just so intriguing. The mystery, like I have to know. And also, you know, I have such a fun time doing reviews with Kate. We went and saw Late Night with the Devil and reviewed it on opening night. We went and saw it and came back here. And so I guess I'll just let you guys know now. I don't know if I said it earlier or not, or if I clarified, but yeah, Kate and I are going to go check out Longlegs tomorrow at 7 p.m. And then we're coming right back and we're going to shoot our review. And then I'll edit it and hopefully have it out by Friday. So that'll be the second review that Kate will do with me here on the channel. And yeah, guys, if you like that kind of content, if you like seeing us review movies together, then, you know, please just let us know. I know that we owe Gavin an Intruder review, which we will be putting together probably sometime this weekend here. The weekend's just going to be jam-packed. It's going to be awesome. And then Tyler says, I'm gonna have to snatch some of this new stuff. Hell yeah. T Parker Evans in the chat. What's happening, T Parker? He says, evening, Davey, seeing Longlegs this Saturday. Haven't seen a single trailer or ad. I'm going into this movie completely blind. That's probably the best way to do it. I heard that the latest trailer, the one that just came out within the last week or so, I saw, you know, when Brett Man from Good Real Hunting was on Fatchy's stream last night, he was saying that he wished he didn't watch that trailer. I haven't seen that trailer. I'm guessing maybe it gives a little bit away, but everything else that I've seen as far as the ads go, T, is, you know, completely ambiguous. Like, you can tell that there's some sort of murder mystery. And other than that, all that I really gathered from the trailers is that it looks absolutely gorgeous. And yeah, Mud, GTA Davey. Yeah, that Late Night with the Davey is just incredible. It's like Lost Boys meets GTA meets my life. All right. My wife both have 23. Oh, there you go. So Tyler, and did you guys get married on the 23rd? I'm guessing that's where that comes from. That's awesome, man. Well, hey, when we bump into each other sometime in the near future, we'll just have to snatch a little or grab a little pic and have a little, you know, a little toast in everyone's honor there. Let's see here. Big Rod says, I need that as a poster frame before I go live. Movie Punks Por Vida. Yeah, that's a good idea, doing posters. So maybe we'll do something like that. Yeah. Putting some posters up there. Yeah. Jamie says, I have no tats. I am super uncool. Yeah, it's the only one I've got, Jamie. Just got it last year, so I haven't even had it for a year. You know, no other body modifications other than the ones that my parents decided for me when I was a baby, which I'm sure you can figure out without me saying. And Kate says, you're a rarity, Jamie. Absolutely. Let's see here. Tyler says, my wife has tons. I just have a Coheed and Cambria inspired piece on my right arm and 23 on my left wrist. Yeah, mine's on my I think my wife and I both got on our the 13 on our left wrist as well. And Gavin says, I'm getting another tattoo as soon as I can. Might get my hand done. What are you going to put on your hand, Gavin? Always interested to know. Oh, look at that. Raymond and Jamie, you guys are not alone. You guys have some, camaraderie there as the non-tatted folks. Hey, no worries, Nicholas. No worries at all. Stellar Blade. I've not played that game. I'm such an old school gamer that, I'm not even really like a gamer, because when I say old school gamer, I'm talking like Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Genesis, like that kind of era. Well, hey, man, that's great. I think finding time to do those things, that bring you joy in your life, it's absolutely important to be able to carve that time out. And the great thing about YouTube is you can always scrub back and check out the show. So no worries about showing up late. There you go. Yep. That's what my hubby says. So you're a rarity. That's awesome. Raymond, Malibu, oh, you're saving your pennies for Terrifier 3. There it is. Gavin is pumped for Alien Romulus. Oh man, me too. Me too. I have full trust in Fede Alvarez. Kate says I effed up though, because my 13th tattoo is my 12th. Should have planned it better. So the 13s. Oh yeah, gotcha. The 13s were spontaneous. We were just at the con and we are like, let's just fucking do it. I was like, oh my God, everyone in my family is going to be so disappointed, because I'm the only one in my family that has a tattoo. Parents and my 4 siblings included. The grandkids are all tatted up. They got a pass on that one. Oh, Jamie's too scared of needles. Yeah, it's not so bad, Jamie. I got kind of used to needles because I was taking some medicine in my early 20s where I had to get my blood drawn like every month or two. So I just got to the point with needles where I'm like, I don't even feel them anymore. I actually I watch it because I don't want to be surprised by anything. So I just watch the whole time. It makes it oddly a little more comfortable. T Parker is looking forward to Heretic and The Front Room. Yeah, I watched I haven't seen the trailer for Heretic yet, because I was tossing around the idea of doing like a live reaction when it dropped the other week. But since I didn't end up doing that, I might as well watch it, because it did look pretty interesting. And I think A24 always brings some sort of like kind of cute edge to their movies, as far as like just something you can't really predict, right? That's the way to work. Big Rod, I might wait to watch if it has spoilers. The trailer for Longlegs. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And Raymond says he just doesn't get to go to the movies. Yeah, very often anymore. Yeah, Twisters, I'm lukewarm on the first Twister movie, but I see a lot of people are really looking forward to Twisters. So, the summer blockbuster is back, folks. Absolutely, yeah. Necromechanimal says I would go see Longlegs, but my theater isn't going to have it. Oh man, so you live just too far from a city, Necromechanimal? I'm not sure where you're at, but yeah, I mean, I guess that's one of the nice things about being, in a metropolitan area like Phoenix is, I mean, when Halloween Ends came out and we wanted to see it in IMAX, we did have to drive about an hour away because that was the closest IMAX. But that's a rarity out here in Phoenix. Gavin says, I hope you guys still remember the movie for the review. We'll probably watch it again, because it'll be it would be, my second time watching the movie, I think. So yeah, I think that would be the best idea, Gavin, is for us to watch it again and then just schedule it to where we can watch the movie and go right to camera after, I think is the way to go, because we owe you one and I want to make sure it's really good for you. Absolutely. Big Rod thought that Longlegs was a spider movie until this week. Well, man, with the ads, we don't even know what the hell it's about, really. So we'll see. I don't think it's a spider movie, but you never know. Dang. So it's like the number 23 starring Jim Carrey in your life, Tyler. That's too cool. Kate agrees. Yep, there it is. Yeah, the only thing I know about Longlegs is that it's a murder mystery and stars Micah Monroe and Nicolas Cage, says T Parker. Yeah, pretty much. It seems like maybe there's some sort of like cult kind of thing going on. It's just so difficult to it seems like just the way the the camera or the cinematography looks is it looks like it's on some sort of commune kind of thing, or some sort of remote small location. But yeah, I have no idea what it's really about. There you go. That's the way to get me, Gavin, is to get Kate to get on me. There it is. Oh, or are you guys talking about tattoo ideas? Well, hey, yeah, that too. I do, if I had all the money in the world, I would go see every movie in the theater, and I'd have the tops of both of my thighs, or what is it, your quads, I'd have those tatted up. Yeah, because I've got full ideas for each one of those, but that shit's expensive, yo. All right. Yeah, I hear you, Raymond. For a long time, I didn't see the point really, because I always spend my money on other stuff. But I see people that are all tatted up and they're able to, find a way to fit that those finances into their life and everything. And sometimes it just, if you have really good ideas of what you want to put on your body, then yeah, I think it kind of works. I mean, I've had multiple ideas throughout my life. I finally landed on some that I really like, but we're talking thousands of dollars just for tattoos. So at that point, kind of to speak to what you're saying, it's sort of like, well, I could probably spend thousands of dollars, on something a bit more worthwhile and a bit more useful, I suppose. Yeah. And Tyler's had an alkaline trio tattoo idea since forever. That's on the list. Yeah, they're cool little. I like their little like black heart with the skull thing. I think that they had that all the way back in the goddammit days, those are the tried and true alkaline trio days for me. As far as I'm concerned, I don't even listen to anything. Everything before From Here to Infirmary is a-okay cool with me when it comes to alkaline trio. I didn't really like From Here to Infirmary or anything after. I don't know what happened. Maybe I grew up, or they just got a little too radio friendly. But I'm one of those bastards that like, I'll really like a band, and then as soon as they get popular and the music gets a little safer, I sort of bail. See Blink 182. Yeah. Hey man, more power to you. One less thing to spend money on. Yeah. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Gavin, I would say, yeah, it hurts worse after than during the tattoo. Yeah. Big Rod says, I got all my tattoos too young. A pentagram, a hedogram. I don't know what that is. Hedogram and a lion with goat horns. Cheers to being young and dumb. That is awesome. Cat scratch on a sunburn. Yeah, that is a very accurate description. Absolutely. Yeah. Kate knocks it out of the park right there. Hey, look at that. We've got another folk in the no tattoo zone with Jamie and Raymond. Nicholas says, I don't have any tattoos, but I want to get one. Don't like the pain. Yeah, the pain is not that bad. I would say just make sure that it's something that you would want on your body forever, right? Or pick a spot on your body that you can cover up easily. Oh, Jamie's theater isn't playing Maxine. The one movie that you haven't seen in the theater. There it is. Tyler says, there's a medical heart illustration that I wanted to use as part of an alkaline trio tattoo. Then Allison Chains used that Saw illustration for the black gives way to blue album art. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, and then when you said that about like an actual medical heart, I saw AFI like back in 2001 or something like that in Seattle. And I think Davey Havoc's got like a tattoo of a human heart where your heart is, which I was like, oh yeah, that's kind of cool in its own way. More interesting was his awesome black mesh shirt that he was wearing, to where I could see the tattoo even though he still technically had a shirt on. All right, guys. Oh yeah, Raymond popped in to say I saw that you had put this in earlier. Sorry that I missed it there, Raymond, that you checked out Uncharted, the Oxus Redemption yesterday. That's awesome, man. Yeah, it is pretty damn good. And we're still crowdfunding for Gotham Noir. So that's some of the same crew that worked on the Oxus Redemption, including Tyler, who's right here in the chat, who worked on some of the visual effects there. He's also working on Gotham Noir as well. So we're about 25% there on the crowdfunding, and yeah, it's going to be pedal to the metal for the rest of the campaign here as we do our best to reach that goal. So yeah, Raymond, if you haven't checked out the Kickstarter yet, go ahead and check out I don't have a link on this video, but many of my videos, any of the live stream weekend roundups are going to have that link. So or you can just Google it, there it is. Big Rod says National Treasure, The Rock, and Con Air makes me want to start the USA and bench Canada. Oh, I love how they just like didn't even bite on that. It was great. The tops of your thighs? I've never heard of someone wanting half sleeves on their upper thighs. It's not, I don't know if it's half sleeves. It's like, oh, I don't know how to describe it. I want to do like shark jaws. So like the frame would be like a great white shark jaws, and then inside of the shark jaws is the orca from Jaws, and then a banner underneath that says show me the way to go home with the little musical notes on it. Of course, with the boat that's in the shark jaws, I'd like, the water, a little sunset, something nice there. And then on the other thigh, I'd like to do a portrait of Michael Myers, and on the bottom of like just below his neck, he sort of starts like turning into fall, like autumn leaves that are like blowing away. That's like, those are my ideas for the tops of my thighs. So not really like sleeve stuff, just like bigger pieces that you'd want on, or, you'd want to have like a bigger canvas, a bigger canvas for. So yeah, there, it's just an idea. Who knows if it'll ever happen. All right, let's see here. Nicholas says, and Davey, I try to see as many movies because I'm interested in the film, and I see the trailer for Longlegs and I have no clue what the plot is. Yeah, but I think that's the great thing, right? It's just, it lessens the hype. That way you can go in there to check out the movie and just sort of let yourself be surprised, and let the movie speak for itself without a trailer spoiling too much or giving you, any sort of preconceived notions. Let's see here. Kate says people get big leg pieces. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, is big leg pieces. And Gavin says, just get a pair of jorts tatted on you forever. That'd be sick as fuck, and John Cena would approve. Oh, I do have a pair of jorts. Well, they're cutoffs. They're not. Yeah, I'm not into like the hemmed jorts. I'm not a big fan of, but I do love myself some cutoffs. I call them my Tobiases. Necromechanimal says, yeah, about an hour drive to the real theater. Oof. The local one only has 3 screens, and one is usually dedicated to a Christian thing. Damn. All right. So you might live in the town where Longlegs takes place. Just joking. All right. Yeah, guys, I think we're gonna wrap it up here. What, we're going hour 42. You guys have been amazing keeping the chat going here. Yeah. Oh, Jamie, let me just jump in here. I don't want to miss these. Jamie says a similar situation as Big Rod. Theater has 8 screens, but they're playing a bunch of family-friendly stuff, and it'd be about 45 minutes to see Maxine. Yeah, call a friend that lives out in that city, Jamie, and be like, hey, on Friday, you want to go see Maxine and let me crash at your place? Thanks. And then Big Rod says, might be stupid to ask, but when does physical media ship with my move? I need to know where to send the signed Gotham Noir Blu-ray and poster. Yeah, so I would imagine it, won't ship until the film is finished. So it's going to be, a good, it'll be 2025, I would imagine, before anything ships, Rod. So I would say if you know your address that you're going to be at, then you should use that one. And then that way you can, just make sure that it gets shipped out to the right place. Yeah. Yeah, who knows though, Gavin? I know that, you can start with a single piece and then it can turn into a sleeve for sure. Oh no, you're totally fine, Nicholas. Sometimes when I'm just like reading through, I get stage jitters. So when I'm reading through the chats and everything, sometimes I just kind of muck it up as well. Yeah. Yeah, sounds like it could be. Absolutely. Yeah, I think that this one's going to be big time right here. And we got Cody in the chat. What's happening, dude who loves movies? Guys, if you don't sub to Dude Who Loves Movies, what are you doing? hop on over to his channel, give him a sub. Cody is a great dude. We just over on Born to Be Rad on Garrett's channel, Born to Be Rad, we did a Rad Dudes versus Movie Punks where Foz and I hopped on there with Garrett and Cody, and we talked about what we call high school thrillers. So they're like these, you know, gritty high school movies that a lot of them are from the 80s. There's usually a gang element. And sometimes there's even like an element where a teacher or an administrator needs to kind of like, you know, beat the kids into shape. It's sort of like if you took Dangerous Minds and Lean on Me or Stand and Deliver and then made the teachers like total badasses that kind of get involved in a little bit of a violent way sometimes. And it was really fun to talk about those movies. And a lot of them I hadn't seen before, you know, preparing for the video. So it was really cool to check out some new stuff. So yeah, go ahead and go on over to Born to Be Rad to check out that vid, and stop on over to Dude Who Loves Movies, give him a sub and check out his stuff. And you're absolutely right. I'm a never nude, even in the shower, always crying, always wearing those cutoffs. Yeah, Raymond, I haven't like Gladiator 2, like 20 years later, I extra don't care. But I guess I should watch the trailer just to see what's up, right? Who knows? All right. Yeah, guys, I think that is going to wrap it up for, oh my God. Before we wrap it up, oh my God, don't get me started on Sasha Banks. But I love the editing that Garrett did where every time you said Sasha Banks instead of Sasha Mitchell, he flashed Sasha Banks up there. Hilarious. Great stuff. It was the gift that kept on giving the whole entire time. Big Rod says, if your channel is called Born to Be Rad, you gotta cover the BMX movie Rad. I would imagine, I mean, Garrett puts out so much material. I don't have it all memorized. I would imagine he's already covered Rad. But Rad is a totally rad movie. Very much fun. Gotta love those 80s fad movies, you know, whether it was like skateboarding or, you know, like with Gleam in the Cube, or, you know, Rad with the BMX bikes, and even like all the ninja movies, just all the trendy, like flash in the pan kind of stuff that got exploited in films in the 80s. Just what a good time. He has talked about Rad many times. I would imagine, I mean, it's like it is the rad movie of the 80s. How could you not talk about it, right? It's like not talking about the Goonies or Monster Squad if you're talking about rad 80s movies. Like you're just missing the boat if you don't, right? Yeah, Tyler, if you guys haven't seen Chris Stanley, who's our Bruce Wayne and Batman in Gotham Noir, you know, he's got a channel where he does like movie reviews and stuff, but his original channel is the Cosplay Chris channel, and he did a video showing off the Batman cowl that he put together, and it's incredible. Like the detail, it looks straight up like it's made of real aged leather. It's incredible. And yeah, his video has been doing gangbusters over there on Cosplay Chris, and it certainly has brought some more attention to the Kickstarter. So things have, you know, jumped up a good chunk since he did that. So yeah, we're just going to keep on pressing, guys. And who knows, maybe, you know, maybe something will come along as a little bit of a surprise here throughout the rest of the campaign. So I'm going to keep everything tight-lipped until I know more, but you never know. You are absolutely right, Jamie. Garrett is awesome. What such a, you know, we were talking earlier with Sam and Brendan about Christian over at Planet CHH, and, you know, Garrett's another one of those guys. Just the content creation it's just on a whole new level. You know, it's really inspiring on the one hand. And then on the other hand, it's like, oh my God, I got to light a fire under my ass and see if I could even do 25% of what this guy does as far as content creation, then maybe I could see, you know, the channel kind of get to that next level. But man, he is incredible. Yeah. Boom. There it is. Big Rod going over to sub over on Cody's channel. Hell yeah. Antonis, I have not seen Imaginary. I didn't really hear anything good about it. There was maybe like one review I saw where somebody was like, you know, kind of, you know, lukewarm to slightly positive about it. Hold on, I have to sneeze. Woo! Yeah, nothing like a sneeze on a live show. Guys, I feel like I'm finally alive. Oh, yeah. That show was cool. All those cool hallway movies. Yeah, you know, Hallway movies, that's a cool description. I kind of like that. That's pretty cool because it gives you that whole school vibe. Because yeah, all the movies we talked about had that school element. I like that. Hallway thrillers, hallway movies. Absolutely love it. Just yeah, it would be cool if an imaginary could like blend over into the same world. Appreciate that, T. Parker. Appreciate it. All right. So Raymond liked Imaginary. What did you think, Antonis? Is it worth watching? Let me know. I've got to check it out. I know Ken didn't hate Imaginary. All right. There it is. See, got some more love for that. Jamie says, I've known Christian and Garrett since 2020. They've worked hard to get where they are. Yeah, absolutely. Super cool dudes. I got mad love for those boys. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is it, you know, when people are having success on YouTube, because there's so many people creating content. So as far as I'm concerned, there's no, jealousy or sour grapes or anything. To me, it's more like you see these people producing so much content and you're like, man, it just inspires you and pushes you to do the same thing. And you know that it's a long game that you got to play. So, they've been doing it for, here we go, 4 years now. And yeah, that's just how this thing, it kind of builds like a snowball going down a hill. It might be a little slow to move at first, but once it gains that mass and it starts, going faster and faster downhill, it's just going to get bigger and bigger. And yeah, you see that Garrett just hit 8,000 subs. I feel like he was at 6,000 just a couple months ago. And then, man, Christian, it seems like every couple weeks he's celebrating a new milestone. I think earlier this year, when I really started paying attention to other people's sub counts, now that I have the channel, it's something I pay a little more attention to. Man, I've seen Christian's channel grow like 10,000 subs since I started paying attention earlier this year. So it's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. Yeah, let's see here. Just remember the quarantine is over. Views are harder to come by. I really appreciate that, Big Rod. It's true. And yeah, I mean, the only time I get discouraged about content creation is when I'm like, man, you need to be creating more. But I have to remember that there's other things going on in my life that require attention. And, sometimes something in your life requires more attention than it usually does. And so you have to put it on the front burner. Not to say that YouTube's on the back burner, but pre-recorded videos take a lot of time, so much more time than what we're doing here, about 3 or 4 times the amount. So yeah, I need to find that next level of motivation. Being out of work for a couple weeks, I was so focused on trying to find a job, and also like it can kind of bring you down. So it was really difficult to be motivated to, being motivated to look for a job is one thing, but then, telling myself you have to create content as well. It was just a little difficult. So I'm back on, feel like I'm back on track and going to be kicking up the pre-recorded stuff here very, very soon. So I'm looking forward to it. I've got a lot of big plans for the remainder of the summer and can't wait to share it with you guys. Raymond knows what's up. Yeah, it's like hanging out with a buddy that's just the most chill dude. Yeah. Davey, whenever you say Cody, I think of Cody Leach. Well, hey guys, we had a back and forth a few weeks ago, and it sounds like, Cody Leach may be making an appearance here on Late Night with the Davey. We just have to, I know he's open to it. It's just about finding a good time that works for him for his schedule, because he's incredibly busy. I mean, obviously he's wildly successful on YouTube, and he makes himself really available for collaborations all over the place. So I know he wanted to just kind of, ease up on the collabs for a little bit. But, once he's ready to hop back in, I can't wait to have him on the show. I'm sure we'll talk about movies a little bit, but I'm really interested to talk to Cody about music, because I know he's a big music fan as well. And I try to make, sometimes with these interviews, it's great to talk about the things that people are known for, but it's also nice to try to find a little something else to chat about. That way it's just interesting for them and not the same old thing that they're used to doing on their channel. So yeah. I know a lot of Codys. It's wild. So when I say Cody, I think of like 3 or 4 people. It's wild. And that is a new thing for me. Didn't even know many Codys until the last 10 years of my life. That's what's happening. Well, I appreciate that, Raymond. It'll probably be a few years, and that's okay, right? We're just going to keep on going and and stick to it and make sure each video is better than the last, and grow our live streams and everything else. And yeah, I think the really cool thing is, you know, if I'm fortunate enough to have the channel pop off like that, then that means a few really awesome things. So that means that number one, I've got a personality that people are willing to tune in for, which is nice. Number two, you know, you guys have been on the ground level. You know, we're not even at 1,000 subs. So it's really cool when I see you guys in the chat. And I sometimes when I daydream about like, oh, what's it going to be like if I ever get, you know, if the channel ever pops off, it's going to be every time I see one of you guys in the chat dropping a comment, it's just going to remind me of where I came from and why I do this. And I do this for you guys. And, you know, it also means that hopefully that you guys have been spreading the word and letting people know about the channel. And really, because that's the only way that we're going to get there is, you know, having the videos shared, having you guys like every video that you check out. Commenting really helps as well, just to kind of get it out there in the ether. And then, yeah, man, sharing it with people that you think would be interested in the subject matter. Even if people aren't fans of horror, maybe they do like the physical media stuff and they like seeing, you know, boxed vinyl opened up and everything gone through. I've got this really cool physical media show-off show where I show off. It's this huge Dookie 40th anniversary box set from Green Day. It has like 7 LPs, all sorts of goodies. I opened it first time on camera for that episode. So like stuff like that, you know, so it's even for the non-horror crowd, there's stuff here, you know, there's content here on the channel for those folks too. Even a show like this where maybe somebody is just tired of watching the same old TV shows and they want to jump in and see, you know, kind of that late night talk show format. Obviously I'm not too incredibly polished. So I think there's a little bit of that too, that, you know, I gravitate towards people on YouTube that aren't completely polished, because you can get the polished thing on the TV networks, right? So I feel like one of the reasons why we come to YouTube is just to see a little something more real. So yeah, it would be amazing to get there. 8,000. I mean, shit, just to get to 1,000 subs, I do a little dance, make a little love, and then get down tonight. So that's just what you gotta do. Boom, Tyler. I hear Cody and think Step by Step. Yeah, I don't know if Dude Who Loves Movies, if that Cody is still in the chat, but who plays Cody in Step by Step? Is it Sasha Banks? Nope, it's Sasha Mitchell. There it is. Still love Step by Step and Code Man. I remember watching Step by Step on TGIF. Yeah. Nicholas, appreciate that. 23 likes. And then Tyler's got a 23 tattoo. So does his wife. His wife's birthday is on the 23rd, and they got married on the 23rd. So we got a whole bunch of 23 love in the chat right now on the stream. That is awesome. And guys, I think that's a good time to wrap things up here. You guys have been amazing tonight. Please check out Our Life in Horror. Go ahead and sub to their YouTube channel. Check out their Instagram, their Twitter, all that kind of fun stuff, so you guys can keep up on the great content they're putting out. I can't wait to hop into that Jaws stream tomorrow. That's going to fill the pathetic void in my life between getting off work and going to Long Legs. That'll be that. Looking forward to jumping in with Sam and Brendan and hearing their thoughts, especially Sam, because it was her first time seeing Jaws just the other day. So really interested to see, you know, what she thinks, because I'm somebody that grew up with the movie. So it's always interesting to see, you know, what people think of it when they watch it as an adult. You know, it's kind of wild like that. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for tuning into another edition of Late Night with the Davey. And yeah, check out those links below. I will be back on Saturday. Actually, I'll be back on Friday with Foz Rotten for a live episode of Movie Punks. We're going to be talking about the Return of the Living Dead. That's going to kick off at 9 p.m. Eastern live on Friday night. Then I'm going to be on Wolfman's Got Nards on Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern. We are going to talk about H2O. Barry's going to defend it, and I'm going to knock it down. And then on Sunday, I'll be back with my weekend roundup. So a whole bunch of activity here. I hope you guys have a great rest of your couple days, and I look forward to seeing you in the chat this weekend. And until then, I've been and will continue being Davey Deathray. Take care.